Welcome to Your Thoughts, Your Reality with Michael Cole, the podcast that shines a compassionate light on the journey of veterans battling through life's challenges. Michael is a dual elite certified neuroencoding specialist in coaching and keynote training presentations, dedicated to guiding military veterans as they navigate the intricate pathways of post-deployment life. Join him as we delve into the profound realm of neuroencoding science, empowering these brave individuals to conquer universal battles, procrastination, self-doubt, fear, and more. Together, let's uncover the strength within you to re-engage with families and society, forging a new path forward.
Hello, hello, hello. We have Cindy Gould. I call her Cindy Gould because she is an amazing soul, dear friend of mine, and absolutely just love that she's here on this broadcast. And thank you for everybody joining and so on. Really appreciate you and all the support, and even more so the support that we're going to gain for our veterans and the veterans' families. So really just want to say thank you, Cindy, for being here, and victorious life. Here we go. How are you today?
Oh, thank you for having me. This is such an honor, and I'm so excited. I'm crazy about your mission. I love the vision that you have and what you bring to the world and what you and Susan bring to the world. And I'm thrilled that you've included me now in this venture of yours. So thank you so much.
Oh, you are so welcome. Absolutely honored. I'd also like to thank, everybody joining and watching in the future. And of course, Cindy, honored that you take the time, the most precious resource that we have as humans, to spend it with us and to help these veterans and so forth move forward. So what I'd like to do, Cindy, is I know you are the owner and so on of Your Victorious Life. You've got a TV show. You've got coaching and training, keynote. I mean, you are just this powerhouse woman. Amen. Tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Oh gosh, so first and foremost, I would say that, I am a mom and a grandma, which is, which I saw that you put that somewhere, and I'm so blessed to have that. And to me, that's like the best training ground, right? In your life, for that. And, I love people. And one of the things that for me, just, really short snippet of my story is, as you know, I had several people, from my son to my father to best friends to, within a short period of time, a 7-month period of time, 8 of my loved ones all moved back home to heaven unexpectedly. And, I was already on the coaching path at that time, and I thought I knew my why. And that really gave me my why. It's like, we have this time right now, like this time with you, what you said about time being our precious resource. I'm honored that you're giving me this time with you. It's like you and I get to connect right now, and then we get to share a message with people. And I mean, this is a very present, real thing, and this is the time we've got right now. And so what that did for me during that time, though, was seriously that, and to bring it made me realize, like, who are you? Why are you here? And what are you going to do about it? And to your point of with our veterans, that I spend every single day, and I don't say this loosely, being so grateful for the freedoms that I get to enjoy because of these men and women and their families that continue to fight on behalf of those freedoms for us, right?
Amen.
And so think about that, and so what am I going to do with this life of mine that's been fought for, right? And then these precious people that come back to us, for having fought for us, and then how do we help them to create victorious lives? What can we do to be supportive of, and to your mission and to your point, to be supportive of their families while they're gone, and of them while they're here, when they're back in the swing of regular civilian type life? How do we support their victorious lives and what they want to do? So that's why I'm honored to be here with you today.
Absolutely. So thank you very much. And a lot of people don't know a lot about my story. So my father joined the military. He came back. He struggled. There wasn't the support, and there's still support's lacking. And that's why I'm doing this. My father, 3 tours in Vietnam, he came back and struggled. I did not meet my father. I've learned about my father through veterans associations. I've got thousands of pages of paperwork and his struggles. So my mom got pregnant. My dad had just joined the military again, and because of violence and alcohol abuse, drug abuse, because he was struggling with the demons already, they never reconnected. And so this is, again, part of the story that everybody doesn't know, but they do now, is, she couldn't leave her ground, if you will, where she had support system and so on, to go into, what she didn't know what her life was going to be. And I respect that, and my father, love, respect, everything to him. He was where he was, and so he battled for years and years and years, Cindy. And it was about 2 years before he passed that he finally, or the military finally said, yes, you have a problem. You're not just a drunk. You're not a drug addict. You're not this, you're not that. And said, yeah, you do have a problem. And he started to get help in that 2 years. And part of it was probably just the recognition, I would think, of, okay, you know what? I'm not just messed up. Where he got some help. And then unfortunately, he did pass. But that's why I'm doing this, because, these veterans, damn it, they deserve better. They deserve better. And the families, the ones that no one, talks about, that their husbands, wives, uncles, sons, all those things, fathers, mothers go and they're gone. And they come back and they have to reconnect, and they have, they get to go through those kinds of things. Without the proper support and proper tools and information, they struggle. And so that's why I'm doing this. Those are the reasons, because someone else needs to step up and we need to do it. And thank you for being here. And thank you for all of the support. I mean, this has been 6 months in the works here, guys, and we're here, so that's what we need to move forward. We need to get more words out, and there are amazing people, and we're going to have them on here. I've got, retired Lieutenant Colonel Tina Parker, and Eddie, yeah, right. Eddie's a more 2-tour vet Marine, first ones in to Iraq and so on. 2001, 2004, going to be on in a couple of days. We've got. And I'm going off a little bit here, but just so everybody understands what we're doing, we've got health experts, we've got financial experts, we've got so many different people coming on here to support these veterans and those families. We need to get the word out. All right, so that's what I just wanted to get that out there, and so we can start moving forward. So
that's so great. I love, like I said, I love the vision and the mission that you have. And, it is so important. I think about the things I learned from my father, that because he had been in the Army, the things that he brought with him. And I think about, he was in the Korean War, and he and his buddies were there, but they were babies. I have grandchildren that are older than he was when he was in the military. And I'm thinking, holy smack, that's, and from Hawaii, of course. And, I remember him, with Pearl Harbor and all that stuff, the stories he would tell when he was young. And then, they all felt compelled to join the Army as soon as they could, or the military, whichever branch of service they were in. And I think about that stuff, and some of the influences, they were positive influences for us. The influences, though, when he just growing up with my father, and some of the things, like, even I'm great at making beds, man. You can bounce a quarter off my bed. It's like those kind of things, even some of that kind of stuff, right? Or like, I remember these are some of my fondest memories. Like, seriously, my dad, in fact, my father moved back home to heaven. He was part of that set of people, right? It was November 1st of 2021. And one of the things that he had from when we were children was like this cool little box with all his shoe shine, the little tin things of the shiner stuff, all the different, like the black and I don't remember the name, but you guys would know because you're a guy. But the brown, but on Saturday night, it was the day that we got ready for Sunday, and we wore, like Sunday best, the whole thing, right? and he would line up my brothers and they would shine their shoes. And he learned that obviously from being in the military, which is so cool, right? And
Absolutely.
but my fondest memories, but the discipline that came with certain things, and there were a lot of positive things that came from that, from the experience also. And yet, I fast forward to living in Hawaii, and you and I've discussed this with, I lived right outside of Schofield Barracks as a young mother, and all my best girlfriends, their husbands would go to the field, and my husband was Hawaiian, not military, and I was at home and I would watch them with their babies, and they'd have weeks or months, while their men were on deployment, and of course we'd do what? Tupperware parties, Sensi pie. I mean, it was that whole thing, right? But then when their husbands would come home, the adjustments that had to be made, because and it was a very real thing. It's interesting because I was thinking into that, knowing that we were going to be talking, like, wow, there's a lot of things that our military families experience that those of us or those people that don't know, they just don't know, like the strain on a marriage, the strain as parents, when one parent's left a parent and then the other one comes home, right?
Yes.
And there's your Lieutenant.
Retired Lieutenant Colonel Tina Parker. Thank you.
Yes. And, and I know Cindy was on here, and your beautiful wife as well. All three of them. So thank you guys, ladies. But I mean, what do you think? Is you have the privilege of talking to so many people that experience those types of things in the military. What have you seen?
What I found, the main thing, especially when the military personnel are coming back into transitioning and back into civilian life, and this is where my real focus is really communication. You just so that they know where you are, both sides, coming back, and the husband or wife or uncle or dad or mom, or all sides. That's that communication of, hey, this is where I am, because it's okay to be there. It's okay not to be woo, I'm kicking ass, here goes life, I'm going, let's go, instead of, man, I don't even know who I am right now. Mm-hmm. I've just been gone for 2, 4, 6, 27 years, and I don't know who I am or who they are, and vice versa. So the main thing, really, coming back, communicate, just slow it down, respect each other, love each other where you are, and communicate.
100%.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I've seen a lot. Yeah.
I think it's huge. And there's, I think, sometimes a lot of fear in communication. There is shame in communication. Mm-hmm. I'm supposed to be this, that's supposed to be, fill in the blank. She or he's supposed to be this. There's, even awkwardness. There's, kids, and they've been dependent on the parent that didn't leave, there's all of those are the things that I saw really prevalent in, adjusting. And I think your point, the two things that you said that really just nailed it to me just now, many things, but the two majors were communication and love. Yes. Just, and creating, I think, a safety, right? Where it's okay to just,
absolutely.
Right now I want to go do XYZ, or I just came, from Afghanistan off a tank and saw horrific things, and now I'm coming home and, let's go barbecue by the pool. You know what I mean? It's like, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And with that said, I think one of for us being neuroencoding specialists and so on, the tools that, they will help them are, learning to celebrate all the little victories, learning to, if I change your physiology, change your mood, change your state, it's when you're feeling that and you realize it. Here it goes. You ready?
Yes.
Give it some attitude. Shake your ass help break yourself out. Physiology. So everybody, side note, okay, neuroencoding specialist, the founder, Joseph McClendon III, who we've trained with and are our mentors. That's his thing. Okay, it's Astitude. So we've all taken it on. But it's finding those moments when you realize, and there's lots of other tools that we know and that we coach on and of course train on and so on. But Astitude's just one of the fun ones, so I love to use it. But when you get in that funk or so, that kind of feeling, sometimes just that simple little tweak, that 2 millimeter change can change the minute, the day, the year, your life. So finding those tools and so on I think are really important.
I totally agree. Moving your physiology, jumping up, you and I both know the stop technique and just, stop. And I think some of it too is, as you know, we have another saying in neuroencoding: as we think, so we feel; as we feel, so we do; as we do, so we have. And thinking about what you think about, like, what am I thinking about? Like, what am I thinking about? And those same, because how many same thoughts do you have every day, right? Out of all the, 70,000 thoughts you have a day, or,
Absolutely.
how many, right? And you don't have to believe every stupid thing you think, and, right? Because it's just part of your BS. And I mean, beliefs.
And you shouldn't. You shouldn't
Right.
believe everything you think. It's a BS, your belief system. Amen, Cindy. Yeah.
Right. And, but to grab those thoughts as they come in and to say, is that true? Like, seriously, is that really true? Like, come on. You know what I mean? And to be able to rearrange that. And the more that you do that, you encode yourself, right? Because the neurons that fire together wire together. And so obviously when you're in a certain mode, and if you're in, fight or flight mode, or if you're in that mode constantly, you need to rewire certain things. Or if you're, and no matter what stage of life you're in, no matter if you're a veteran, no matter you and me, if it's, relationships, whatever it is, you just take a look at that and okay. So, and one of the things I love, Dr. Amen is another, with some of the folks that are watching, a brain health coach as well, which is super fun. And Dr. Amen is phenomenal. And one of the things he says is, and then what? And then what? And so while you're going down that brain trolley,
I love that. I love that. The brain trolley.
It's pretty visual, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So Cindy, let's talk about, if we can, just switch gears just a little bit here. I think this has been fantastic. Absolutely, thank you. So, why do you think some people, and I'm going to just preface this or reframe it, if you will, to why, and this isn't just military, non-military, civilians, whatever the case may be, this is humans, right? I mean, this is the human condition. Why do you think some people thrive in life? They can come from the same backgrounds or same people in the military, the same divisions, Marines, Air Force, whatever the case may be. And some people thrive and some people struggle. Why do you think that might be?
Oh, golly, that's a loaded question, isn't it?
Isn't it, though?
Well,
I didn't say it was going to be easy, Cindy.
Right. Well, I would say the first thing that comes to mind is their BS. Like, and I mean that it's your belief system. What do you believe about yourself? And what do you believe to be true? Because you can look in the mirror and you can believe certain things about yourself, and you could have heard them and you could have adopted what you heard, right? And you could eat up and sit there with all of your, yourself and taking all those things in. It really does boil down to that. And most people do not define what they really want. Like, what do you want? What do you really want in life? Like, do you just get up and then you go to work and then you're stuck at a job and then you're like, okay, I can't really afford to not be at that job and pursue my dreams. So I'll just get to that, 5-year mark, and then I'll do a side hustle, and then I'll move on. And then that doesn't happen, right? Without clearly defining what they want and then pursuing it like their hair's on fire, right? Like, pursuing it like they need to just go after it. And I think the reason I love that question is it's really my why. It's like, as you know, there's 98% of this planet, 8 billion people. So that's 7,840,000,000 people come to this planet and do not fulfill their dreams. They don't go for it because they're afraid. And it's those toxic 10. And to your question and to your point, it's fear, your beliefs, the fears that you allowed to get in your way, and then not having a clearly defined target. You can't achieve it without a target. If you don't know what you're shooting at, and all of our veterans know that because they're very well skilled in that, right? And well taught. If you don't know what the target is, you don't even know what you're aiming at.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and I think all of that, agree with that 100%, 200%, 300%. Let's go with that. So
okay.
it's the thieves of their dreams, right? It's the same thing we all deal with. It's procrastination, hesitation, fear of failure. Go ahead. You go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm doing it with you. Fear of failure, fear of success. Keep going because I love it.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Cindy.
Self-loathing, self-doubt, imposter syndrome. Am I ever so popular? Because this is, to me, the bottom line to all of it: fear of rejection.
Fear of rejection. Amen.
Yep, stress and overwhelm. And those are the toxic 10. Right?
So, we run into all of this as humans. Now, military are conditioned to do what? Figure it out, not ask for help, and get it done, right? And so that's, I think, one of the reasons they struggle more than, I shouldn't say more, as much as or more as other people, because they get into that world, right? So if we can get the military to realize, hey, it's okay. And people in general, it's okay. Ask for help. And how do we do that? We make them comfortable, right? My opinion. We get them comfortable with community support systems. And here's the other thing that we run off the course with, I think, with a lot of military, especially back in like the Vietnam days, was everybody had call signs or nicknames or that kind of thing. And they got out, they didn't know anybody's name. So I think, what's that?
No, I'm laughing because you're not wrong.
No. So, now I think I hope it's better. There are a lot of support systems, Facebook and things like that, that people can reconnect and so on. So if we can get and help these veterans kind of reconnect and have those supports so they can actually talk and not feel like there's an issue, I think that helps them to thrive more so when they have that support system. They have a plan, just like you were just talking about. They have their what do you want? Right? What do you want? Because a lot of, especially the new veterans coming out, and again, I'll go back to my friend Tina Parker. We had great conversations. Is they get out and they don't really know necessarily who they are. I'm not saying everybody, so just understand that. They don't know who they really are and what they really want and what they really want to do. And the military veterans now, they're not drafted. They're going in because they want to serve a purpose. They want to go in and they want to fulfill a purpose. So it's the same thing when they get out. That's one of my main goals with coaching and all the trainings and so on, is help them figure out what they want, and to fulfill that purpose, because that's really what they're looking for.
Right.
Time and time again.
Yes. And to your point, I would say, because of what I do as a victorious strategist, my main goal, I would say, is you're the hero of your own story, right? You know that. We all know that. Nobody's coming to save you. You got to save your own booty. So
we don't all know that though, but we do now.
That's the point. Yes. Yes. And yes. Thank you. And here's what I say though is, who are you? Why are you here? And what are you going to do about it? And to that point of what you were saying is, we don't, when you think about it, most people couldn't answer that. If I do group coaching as well as one-on-ones. And that is one of the biggest things is, what's your identity? Who the heck are you? Like, really? Like, remember that movie, Runaway Bride with Julia Roberts. And every single thing is, I like eggs Benedict. I like them scrambled. I like omelets, right? And she didn't even know what the heck she liked. And did she even like eggs? You know what I mean? Well, and it's like, who do we morph ourselves or chameleon ourselves into being because of that relationship or to fit in somewhere, right? And when you can really step back and figure out who you really are and the beauty and the magnificence of who you are as Michael Cole, as Susan Cole, as Tina Parker, as Dominica, you know, I mean, the people that are watching as Cindy, and who are you really? And then figure out why are you here, and your passions are going to be an indicative reason. I mean, they're going to show you why you're here, right? The passions and the things that you're really drawn towards and the things that you pull towards you. And then what the heck are you going to do about it? That's the juice. That's the fun stuff. That's where you come in with the veterans, is like, you can help them. Okay, what do you want to do about it? Let's rock and roll, man.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Yes. So yeah, thank you. You nailed it. I mean, all of that, you nailed it. So thank you. Hey, Christina, thank you for jumping on too.
Yay! We love
I know.
Christina Agner. She's the boss.
Fantastic. So Cindy, let me ask you this. We're, we could sit and talk, I think, for 3 days. Okay. I mean, how long will a live go before they kick us off?
Right.
Of course, we'll do this again, of course. So we have a couple of minutes left. So my question, I guess, to you is victorious life, right?
Mhm.
What is the top 3 tips that you can give to our veterans, their families, to thrive, to move forward, to not be stuck?
Okay.
I know I'm putting you on the spot. Hey, and I want everybody to know why she has a second to think about this. None of this is scripted. We're just rolling. And, there could be F-bombs, there could be tears, there could be respectful arguments. Yeah, right. She got her tissues just in case. We have no idea. And tomorrow, or I'm sorry, Wednesday when the next show's on, could be the same thing. So just understand that we're just throwing each other and we're under the bus and we're just rolling with it. But I think it's been fantastic. And Cindy, honestly, thank you so much. All right.
Okay.
Hopefully that was enough time. You got three tips.
Okay, and I got a minute and a half. So let me tell you, I'm going to just wrap it up with a nice little bow back to what you said in the beginning. The number 1 tip I would say is move heaven and earth to love yourself, no matter what. Move heaven and earth to love yourself. And from there, you're going to love your families and treasure each other, lighten up on each other, learn to have appreciation and not expectation of each other and of yourself. Like, and just be ooey gooey, go for guts, crazy in love with each other, right? Because I think that's like the biggest. And then the other is communicate, no matter what. Communication is like, and those are the 2 things you started with, like love and communication. And communication, that's not just with other veterans or other people, civilians, non-civilians, family, whatever. Communicate with yourself. And like for me, I would wrap it up with, because I have such a strong relationship with God, and that because we've experienced that together. I would say that, communicate with God, communicate with wherever you do, whether you meditate, pray, whatever it is, get anchored in that. And those are the 3 things, to love and communicate, and not just with others, but with yourself and with God or wherever you worship or what you do.
Wow, fantastic.
That work?
Fantastic, lady. Thank you. Oh gosh, yes. I mean, that's just about as good as gold, Cindy, gold as you'll get right there.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cindy. Honored, truly honored you have been here. Cindy, anybody that wants to reach out to you, how do they get a hold of you?
Hey, hit me up on Facebook under Cindy. Cindy Gould. I'll take Gold, but it is Gould. And I actually just launched my new Facebook group, the Victory Network. So it's facebook.com/groups/the Victory Network. Come play with us there. It's going to be fun. Michael's going to be featured in an interview there. Can't wait. This is going to be great. Michael, I'm so proud of you. This is a beautiful vision and mission. It is such a privilege and honor for me to be here today. So thank you for having me. And thank you to all of our veterans and their families.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. And I just want to say a couple of things really quick. Thank you for everybody that joined us today. I really appreciate it. Share this, get this information out, please. And the last thing I'm going to do, and Cindy, if you could point your hand straight up above the barcode, see the QR code up there? Other hand. Look straight up.
I see it. I'm pointing at it, but it's not showing.
That's okay. So everybody, there's a QR code on the top. There it is, the top right corner. Hey, there's support. There's all kinds of information on there. Please reach out. Veterans, families, reach out, talk to somebody. But most of all, get passionate about your plan. Figure out what you want for your life, because it's no one else's.
That's right.
Get passionate about your plan. My friend Tina Parker, again, I keep bringing her up. God, I love that lady. She and I were talking. Excited anticipation about your future. Excited anticipation, not stress, anxiety, all those things. Keep watching, keep following us. Go to the QR code. Get all those, get that information and so on, so that we can move forward and thrive.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everybody. And I keep getting messages.
Hey, that's
all right.
fabulous.
All right. Hey, I just want to shout out really quick. I know we're past time, but
That's mother.
It's my show. What's that?
Oh, well, Shirley Bidlack Cole, is that?
Yes. Yep. That's actually my aunt, and that's what made me think of it. On another episode, we're going to talk about, I never met my father. Susan, through genealogy and so forth, Susan's my wife, everybody, went through and found, after my father passed, my family. And I have a whole Oprah Winfrey story, and that is no lie. I mean, literally, you want to cry, you'll cry, Cindy. But they welcomed me in, and I've learned so much about my father and my family. And I mean, let's just be honest here, okay? They didn't even ask for a DNA test.
Wow, because you look so much like your dad.
You know why? Because our sense of humor is so similar. There's no way we're not related. Joking, kind of. Anyway, hey, love you too, Aunt. So, on closing, thank you all. Honestly, this has been a fantastic first show, and amen, Cindy. So honored you were the first. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
We are out.
We're out.
Thank you for joining us on another insightful journey of Your Thoughts, Your Reality podcast with your host, Michael Cole. We hope the conversation sparked some thoughts that resonate with you. To dive deeper into empowering your thoughts and enhancing your reality, visit empowerperformancestrategies.com. Remember, your thoughts shape your reality, so make them count. Until next time, stay inspired and keep creating the reality you desire. Catch you on the next episode.